Yes, I want to talk about the struggle against Zionism. Conrade told us that the struggle against Zionism is the cutting edge of the revolution today. And it's reflected in what's going on internationally, not just in Palestine, occupied Palestine, because the Zionist movement came into being in 1897, and it became an integral part of the imperialist system with the establishment of the State of Israel in 1948, and even before that with the expulsion of the Palestinian people in the late 1800s from what is now occupied Palestine. So what the imperialist states did was they used the European Jewry as a tool to create a forward base for imperialism in the world, in the region we call the Middle East. So the European Jewry, who began to become focusing on creating their homeland via the Jewish state as written by Theodore Herzl, they got funded by the European imperialist powers, and they began to take the Palestinians' land as early as the 1897 founding of the World Jewish Zionist Congress. Fast forward to 1948, the United Nations legislated that there should be a Jewish state, or the State of Israel rather, created for the European Jews who were the victims of Nazism in the land that the Palestinians lived on. And so they condoned the removal of the Palestinians that started as early as 1917 and was codified in the Balfour Declaration in 1918. So they established the illegal settler colonial state of Israel. So they've been fighting to take the land back since the establishment of the State of Israel in 1948. And so today you have the Boycott, Divestment, and Sanctions movement, which was started by several Palestinian organizations. And the Boycott, Divestment, Sanctions movement is similar to the Boycott, Divestment, Sanctions movement that was created in Zambia, South Africa, which undermined the economic strength of the apartheid government in Zambia, South Africa. And by the way, the apartheid government worked in close alliance with the illegal settler colony of Israel, who worked closely with the illegal settler colony of the United States of America in this unholy alliance. So the Palestinians, through their struggle, have created the Boycott, Divestment, and Sanctions movement. And those of us who are Revolutionary Pan-Africanists, we have to support that movement. We have to show international solidarity, because the Zionists not only affect the Palestinians, the Zionist movement has its dirty hands behind the oppression of Africans in Tanzania, behind the oppression of Africans in Sudan, which they overthrew the government. They made the president resign, rather, in Sudan, although it's a military regime. And they have their dirty hands in the spying on Martin Luther King and the assassination of the leaders of the United States government, like John F. Kennedy, Robert F. Kennedy. And they have their hands in a lot of imperialist work. In other words, they are the running dog lackeys of U.S. imperialism. When the imperialists need somebody to do dirty work, the Zionists train and or carry out assassinations worldwide. They poisoned Yasser Arafat, and they did other things. But now today, they're in danger of being displaced. The present current the current president of the United States, Trump, is trying to show solidarity with the Zionist state by declaring Jerusalem as the capital of the state of Israel last year. And also by declaring that the Golan Heights, which is part of Syria, is now part of the legal settled state of Israel. So we have to double down on our support of the boycott, divestment, and sanctions movement, which is a threat to their power, especially in the U.S., where you have 26 different states who have passed legislation to declare that you cannot boycott the state of Israel. In other words, companies that want to boycott the state of Israel, it's against the law. And also, if you protest against the state of Israel, you get a $100,000 fine and a certain amount of time in jail. So here you have the U.S. government protecting a foreign government where the right to protest is part of the constitutional right of the people. It's in the U.S. Constitution that you have the right to protest and boycott to gain freedom. So this is the hypocrisy of the United States American capitalist system. So the boycott, divestment, and sanctions movement, we must support it as much as we can, and also support the Palestinian people and the world in this fight against the legal Zionist settled state of Israel. Thank you.